Hello, everybody. My name is Adriana de Trinidad. I am a field representative with the New School of Architecture and Design.
And I am Daniela Deutsch, the head of architecture programs at the New School of Architecture and Design.
And today we're talking about architecture for the San Diego Festival of Science and Engineering. Here at New School, we offer a series of programs in architecture, design, and construction management. And so we're going to be talking about how architecture contributes to STEAM and the impact that New School even has for the San Diego community. So, Daniela, as the head of the architecture programs and as a professor of architecture, you have goodness gracious, so many years experience working in architecture. Can you tell us about the profession of architecture and its impact?
Thank you, Adriana. Well, architecture is a truly versatile profession. Today's way to practice architecture is not what we traditionally thought of as always being the perfect combination between science and art. There are way more paths that you can pursue. An architect can do many different things. And you can study architecture with this awareness of rich possibilities. At New School will help you discover what you are interested in. Is it humanistic, scientific, artistic, or computational approaches that, or even something new that you will like to add to your current talents? Whatever you bring in, we're here to embrace it and custom make an approach just for you. In the end, our goal is that our students develop a range of very desirable, creative, visual, practical, and design-based skills to fit a wide range of professional careers. Again, although most architecture graduates will be looking to becoming registered architects and practice professionally, there are plenty of other options for you to consider. A few examples: consulting for governmental offices on design and also policy related needs, or various specialized design consultancies like design for human health or design for healthy environments by integrating human biology, psychology, and sociology.
I think that's beautiful. I did not study architecture. I am not an architect, but I see the value in architecture and how whatever you are interested in, whether it be culinary arts or, like you said, health, you can always marry that with architecture, with design, and you can really make something wonderful out of it, something that edifies and helps humanity and helps human beings. And whether you are designing something like for healthcare, or if you're designing a tower of food, you got to be thinking about the structure of the structural integrity of the food, right? Or the structural integrity of an edifice of a building. All of that is super important. But for our younger audiences, those that haven't been exposed to architecture, could you explain a little bit more why architecture is important?
Oh, that's a great question. There are so many definitions for architecture. One of my favorites is architecture is the canvas for living. If you think about it, it deals with the space that surrounds us, and ever since humans settled, it has become the study of humanity. At least that's what I like to think.
Mm.
I definitely believe that architecture is bringing out the best of what we could do in this world, not only about structures and design, but also about life in general. And again, along these lines, as I said before, to me, architects can do so many different things. Also, architects are, per definition, visionaries, leaders, and orchestrators. Uh, at New School, we look at what's your vision for the future, what are your values, what you care about, and uh, uh, we'll learn everything we can about you. So uh, to show you how to articulate this to others in a meaningful and powerful way. And one of our objectives here is to give you these tools so you can identify who you are and what impact you can make in this world. Obviously, this is a lifelong process, but the good news, there is no one way to succeed, make a difference, or lead. We start from the premise that you all have what it takes. To us, that's what successful academia is all about at its core. So if you want to be a leader at New School, you are in the right place.
I completely agree with that. Um, Now, what do you think is something that New School does, as a professor and head of the architecture programs? What do you say that the university itself and the program, the degree, how does that prepare students for the outside world to work in the realm of STEAM?
So I think we do a lot, and I think our main focus is that to prepare you for the profession. So besides a currently updated curriculum, what's very specific to New School and we're very proud of is that most of our professors are highly trained professionals who are currently working in the industry. They are involved with the most current developments in the profession, as well as active part of professional community and organizations. And additionally, I guess our programs allow for internships. So we build the program in a way so that students can work in the afternoons and still uh, be present to most of our classes. And considering all these, yeah, the experts from the industry and the fact that most of them do an internship, students are immediately ready for the profession when they graduate. One very good example in 2019-2020 academic year, 92% of our students were employed in their field of study when they graduated. So we're very proud and excited, not just to see that they're employed, but to see where they work and the great things they have achieved.
Definitely. When I see students graduating from New School, and like you said, the 92% rate of students within 6 months of graduating find a job within their field, and exactly where they're working, right? Not just some small little agency or architecture firm, and the quality of projects that they're working on collaboratively with other architects and designers. I know that students are being prepared to work in the world of architecture, and like you said, it's very collaborative, and you're integrating different expertises to come up with a final product. And at New School, when I tell students and other people about the programs that we offer architecture, interior architecture and design, graphic design and interactive media, product design, and construction management. And so at our university, and we only offer those five, right? And so that means that the students that are working in construction management are working alongside students that are working in architecture, that are working alongside students that are working in product design. And so it's cool because students are being exposed to what working will look like once they graduate. So they're not only prepared with a portfolio and with a degree, they're also prepared with experience because they've been doing um, what they're going to have to be doing once they graduate at a company or at an agency or firm those 4 or 5 years that they've been at New School. And so I think that's very fun. And I'm very proud of what New School has been doing and how it's been contributing to the San Diego community. Are there any projects that you would like to share with us that your students have been working on that kind of showcases what STEAM looks like too from an architecture point of view?
Yes, thank you. I have prepared a few images for today's event, and I'm going to share them in a minute. But um, back to what you said, I think it's really the perfect example because this is what's called the integrated design studio, and this runs during the fourth year of the undergraduate program. On the same times, we also have an integrated design studio in the graduate program. So uh, this is a concept that is all about collaboration. And again, back to your comment before, we collaborate internally for sure a lot. Architecture and design and interior design, or architecture and construction management. So it's very important to us that all the departments in New School work together in sync, and everybody has a chance to move from a department to another if they want to. Yeah, we have a kind of a pedagogy that allows for that, concentrations and minors. Yeah. So back to the integrated design studio, this runs during the fourth year of the undergraduate program, and it's an architectural studio concept that integrates professional practice with academic pursuits. Uh, Here, the pedagogy wraps around a unique dynamic collaboration between multiple parties from academia, the design profession, and the real estate development. One of its main aims is to being part of the ongoing conversation about contemporary directions in urban design and architecture. So basically, students get a project to work on that is a real project with real clients and real, architectural challenges. Here again, internally speaking, pedagogically speaking, we aim uh, to see architecture in an integrated context. Yeah, we need to understand how this relates to structural engineering aspects, to mechanical and energy engineering aspects, in order to optimize the architectural solution. The concept we are trying to convey in the integrated design studio is that there are many actors in the integrated design process. You have the client, developer, representatives, investors, the architect team, project designer, managers, construction managers, and coordinators, as well as the city planning departments with all the engineering offices, structural engineers, life safety, and other focused engineers, as well as general contractors, all kinds of other experts and consultants, as well as always local community groups. And we are trying to capture all this in a very intense collaboration. And here I'm going to show you a few very quick snapshots for our process at New School. In this case, you can see our students working with structural engineers from KPFF Engineering, which is a local structural engineering company that works with us for the past 8 years. So here the students get to work one-to-one with real experts from the industry on very technical issues. Here also a few examples of what we call the money shots. So basically final renderings for projects students worked on for the past 8 years. In this case, this is one of our first projects 8 years ago called the UCSD School of Interdisciplinary Studies at UCSD, which is a real project. Yeah, this is a project developed in collaboration with the facility planning department at UCSD, and it's the start of these very intense collaborations with the real world. Here another example of this particular project. You can see that the projects are very innovative and always aim to come up with really state-of-the-art solutions. Here another UCSD project for this particular campus. And a similar project a year later for the San Diego State University, in this case, College of Engineering building. You can see here another courtyard solution for a project like this. What's great about this project is that we worked parallelly with the real team of architects from Los Angeles, which provided a great opportunity for academia and practice to truly collaborate and inspire each other. Another more technical image of that San Diego State project where you see what we call a section perspective. Yeah, this is where you start to see the systems being integrated into the building. And a few interim interior images to see how the building performs in various parts of the structure. In this case, also a lab. Yeah, we go even to the interior to develop lab solutions for these university projects that always have, you know, research wings. This is another project in Portland this time. This is called the 4th District Project, and it's a large district in the central east side of Portland that is a post-industrial area. The students here had to develop 10 very large sites for the same developer. And again, it was a truly complex collaboration between New School and the city of Portland, the Central East Side community, and lots of other practitioners in Portland. A few other images for these, you know, post-industrial office solutions in Portland. And another one for another student. And this is yet another new project in National City, a bit closer to home again. National City is about 15 minutes south of San Diego downtown, so basically 15 minutes south of New School, so very close to us. Great collaboration between all the entities, the city of National City, all the local practitioners, obviously the community of National City. You have to keep in mind that here we were developing an entire new downtown for the National City. This is kind of comprised of 40 blocks. And we ended up developing all 40 blocks, for an initial vision with about 75 students. This is an image of one of these blocks looking inside the courtyard. Again, those solutions were really custom made for this community. And yet another block solution for the National City project. You can tell by the images that they are very innovative. Students have this kind of fresh point of view in the way they approach the architecture of the future. And here another image from National City. What I love about this image is that you can tell it's built around the community. So a very important aspect of these projects is that they are crafted for that particular community. The students visit these communities often and understand their real needs. And this is a project in Seattle. Here, yet another interesting intersection with another city. This site was located in the middle of the central waterfront of Seattle, right next to Seattle downtown. So a very prominent site. Here, again, we work with the city of Seattle and the office of the waterfront. Went to Seattle 3 times in a variety of field trips to really understand the site, the needs, and the community needs. This particular project is a health and wellness center. The students could choose what the best program would be for this particular site. So this was a site that had this kind of flexibility per the municipal code. A few interior images of this health and wellness center. You can tell that here the students really focused on the health and wellness aspect of the project. And here we also collaborated with the interior design department. Another solution for the Seattle site, this is a hub, and it's a hub for a Seattle-focused arts and cultural center. A few images for the interior of this project. And here right at the entry of the project. And yet another solution for the Seattle site called Umbio, this being a university for the study of marine biology. So you can see the variety of programs envisioned for this site and all very well fitted. So we presented the project to the city of Seattle and all these ideas were really well received. An interior image for this project. And this is another project in San Diego, more specifically in Mission Bay. This was called WERC, which is the Wetland Education and Research Center, and it was a collaboration with the UC San Diego Natural Reserve System. Basically, this was a broader effort, not just for University of California, but also by other community groups to advocate for the city to do an extensive marsh restoration across the northern shore of Mission Bay. So this project called for an iconic building on a very carefully selected site that would be a destination, but also serve as a hub on how to do marsh restoration successfully. This particular project here is not just a building for the Wetland Education and Research Center, but it's developed as an entire water purification park. And the main focus of this was to design a purification system that is integrated into the park with the goal basically of improving water quality in Mission Bay, and also to help inspire and educate visitors on the importance of nature and sustainable design. Other images from this larger park, yeah, there it's called the Water Purification Park. And here, another solution for the same project. As you can see, this is a very iconic building, which was one of the main requirements by the client, that this building will become a destination, not just for the goal of restoring Mission Bay, but also for everyone in San Diego and beyond. This is also a concept that integrates really well into nature through an organic form that flows with the landscape. So this is where students had this additional challenge of doing not just urban planning and building design, but also landscape design. So this was a true holistic concept. Another solution for this project in Mission Bay, and a few interior images for this particular solution, again developed with the interior design department at New School. And a few more interior solutions. And here another solution for the same project, again very well integrated within its context. And here a few images from the design process in studio. Here we just got together after the field trip to Seattle, and students share their first findings from their field trip and collaboratively understand what the site is about. And this is the advantage of these large gatherings in the beginning stages of the project. You can tell by these boards that the initial design process is very creative. It's not just dry data and dry planning. Students have their individual approach to design, and this is something we always try to embrace in the design studio. Yeah, who are you as a designer from a very individualized perspective? More of these presentations, yeah, of these collaborative initial discussions. A few images in studio, yeah, after we meet and are ready to start the process. We have these different sections, studio sections, and each group of students meet with their instructors 3 times a week, in the end 10 hours a week. And on the same time, all the sections are in the same space, sharing this experience together and working on the same project together. We have these pin-up walls where students pin up and share the work, and you are surrounded in this studio space by constant updated work, and you get to see what everybody else is doing. Yeah, it's like a big office, like a big collaborative integrated office. These are, in my opinion, very telling images of that collaborative spirit. Yeah, and that's what we call studio culture. A few images from presentations throughout the process. Students presenting, in this case, to one of the industry leaders, Brett Tullis and Philip Molnar from the San Diego Union Tribune. So often we get to present to local media, always though to local practitioners. And here, pretty much an impromptu presentation in studio where our president, Marvin Maleka, and our chair, Len Zegarski, were visiting just to look at the work, and students are always ready to present and discuss their projects. Another nice feature of these integrated real projects is that, as mentioned before, we work with the city planning departments and with city representatives, which makes the experience for the students very real. Here you see the National City Council, including the National City Mayor, being presented the student work. So this is one of the few times we went to the National City Council, in this case the final presentation, and students prepared a special session just for that, basically showing our design approach and a selected number of projects in greater detail. And this is one of our students presenting his project to the City Council board. The last thing I like to show you from the design process is what we call the design charrettes. These are fun, collaborative meetings during which students explore and share a broad diversity of design ideas. So here you see students starting to collect their first findings again and immersing themselves immediately into the design process with a lot of passion and energy. Initial sketches, understanding what the goals are. As you can see in this case about the 4th district in Portland. And this is an example of what we call the Charrette Wall. This happens at the beginning stages of the design process, and it's called collaborative charrette exercise. It's basically all students getting together and working collaboratively within sections in order to have open discussions and formulate initial alternative ideas. And this, it's really great for intuitive exploration, discovery, and creativity. Additionally, we have other pedagogies. Here you see those little cards. It's like an urban card game that we developed to help with an understanding of the urban design vocabulary. Yeah, this is a complex endeavor, and we have to be creative ourselves to speed up these processes of understanding the complexities of the design process. Another collaborative charrette wall, and with Zoom team, where you see those urban vocabulary card game cards. And another charrette wall from another year. As you can see, students keep going to these walls to add information, to get inspired by it. So in these couple of weeks of the charrette, this is really used for the students to come up with very innovative and inspirational ideas. And here, one last image from our field trip to Seattle. Uh, I just want you to see we also have fun. We do a lot of field trips, and we really try to immerse ourselves in these cities we develop. And again, as architects, we need to be as global as possible and be ready for whatever design challenge is in front of us. This being said, thank you, and I'm going to give it back to Adriana.
Daniela, thank you so much for sharing those images of students' projects of what they've done in California, Portland, and Seattle. It is a huge contribution of what students have done for the community, and it's a testament to of what architecture can contribute to STEAM. So thank you again for joining me and sharing these projects, sharing what architecture is and why it's important. And we hope that this can be a good addition to the San Diego Festival of Science and Engineering for STEAM Week. So thank you again.